Now I want to talk briefly about mode arpeggios, and showing it over video won't help you the most. I think the handouts will do the most service for you, have the most purchase. But I want to show it to you over video so you know what you should be doing. So with every Ionian or first degree scale, you can have the minor scales playing. You can even play it in the same position, however playing different shapes to accommodate that. The mode arpeggios, I'm including 6 because I'm excluding the Phrygian. So subtract 1 from 7, you get 6. The major scales, arpeggio, is called the major 7th. So you have your 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 1st. So and from there you go up to Dorian from Ionian, and you can play this down here if you'd like. And I'm going to refer to it as its root. So this is the 1st, flat 3rd, 5, 6, 1st, flat 3rd, 5, 6, 1st. I can even do that on top of this position here, this way of playing on the fretboard. And it has its own major, or has its own minor scale for that. Skipping Phrygian. And this one has a Lydian. And this is one I haven't really seen as a scale, but it's a nice sounding one, so I thought I'd include it. So you have 1st, 3rd, sharp 4th, 6th, 1st, 3rd, sharp 4th, 6th, 1st. Or and then we have the Mixolydian, so this is Ionian. And the mode arpeggio is called the dominant 7th, and this is quite a common one. So you would start here, and I can play it on the A shape. So 1st, 3rd, 5th, flat 7, 1st, 3rd, 5th, flat 7, 1st. So I can play it here, 1st, 3rd, 5th, flat 7, 1st, 3rd, 5th, flat 7, 1st. If you want to play it over the same shape, you do a C shape. So this one, or if you want to have that flat 7th, 1st, 3rd, 5th, flat 7th, 1st, 3rd, 5th. Now we've got a couple more to do. We have the Aeolian. We've seen this. This is the minor pentatonic. So if you have G major, you could have E minor, 1st, flat 3rd, 5th, flat 7th, 1st. That, and the last one is the Locrian. So here's the major. Locrian would be here, and Locrian has an arpeggio called the minor 7th, flat 5. So it's like a minor pentatonic, but the 5 or the 5th is flattened. So you have 1, flat 3, flat 5, flat 7, 1, flat 3, flat 5, flat 7, 1. That has its own half diminished here. Or one of the last things we're going to cover is the crossover for the big patterns. We've seen that when you have your major pentatonic, you have your two big patterns, and we've noticed that there's a crossover from big 1 to big 2, namely that it's L2 and R1. This applies to the major and minor natural scales, so Ionian, 1st degree, and Aeolian, 6th degree. This is all well and good, but this actually changes when you have different modes, because your starting place is different and the big patterns you use are going to be different. So here's a Ionian. Here's a Lydian. You won't be using the same patterns because you'd be playing, in essence, an Ionian scale somewhere else, right? What do you do instead? Well, if you notice that the sharp 4 is being played here, you will have also noticed that given that they're in the big patterns, you're using 2 right patterns. So R1 and R2 are being played there instead of L2, R1. That's the main difference. Now with the minor 6, so Dorian, the dominant 7th, which is a Mixolydian, and Locrian, which is the minor 7th, flat 5, you get a separation of these big patterns. So it makes it a little bit complicated. However, they use the same patterns. That is to say, if I were to play, and this is the minor 6th Dorian, there's immediately a big pattern here, one of the D patterns, and a big pattern after that. And what that is R2, what I call D2, and L1, L2, R1, R2. So you get R2, skip over D2, L1, and then that's just another one of the D patterns. Another one of the D patterns. R2 and L1 get that. Same case for the Mixolydian. So this is R2, R1, L2, L1. Like I said, R2 and L1 get it, but L1's lower in this case. L1, R2. And Locrian gets it a little bit differently as well. You have your big patterns set a little bit differently as well. Since you're on the lowest note of L1 when you're playing Locrian, L1 gets a big pattern, skips over 2, and then R2, and L1.